Hello Aces, Ace Combat Fan here, starting a new series, playthrough of Ace Combat Zero with, English commentary. I've never done, playthrough with commentary of a major AC game, so thought I would do, especially now that Ace Combat 7 has been delayed. I got some time to do that. You might think, why am I doing this? Because this game has been released, 11 years ago, but there's still some, information I guess I can share with you about the game that's not really explained, in the game. So let's get this started. Let's start another SP campaign in the Ace difficulty, because if you don't go Ace, you're not getting the true Ace Combat experience. Yeah, with English subtitles. And let's get Pixie to take it away with his interview. One of the things that I really like about AC0 is the approach to the game. The way I like to think about it is you're not actually in the Balkan War. You are watching a documentary, which it is a documentary, in 2005, so 10 years after the Balkan War. And you kind of have these flashbacks from the Balkan War. I like to feel like Cypher is the one watching the documentary, and he has these flashbacks from the war. And I really like the approach, how it's more journalistic documentary kind of thing. It's a bit similar to Ace Combat 5 and Ace Combat X, where you have that journalist, which is Jeanette in both games. Although this game is a different journalist making the actual documentary. The other one is kind of in the story. This one is after the story. But needless to say, I think it's a nice approach on how you're outside the conflict and you get to interview the people who are fighting, in the Balkan War. And now we have our first mission, Glacial Sky. Like many Ace Combat games, it's that bomber intercept mission just to get you started, because the Holy Trinity doesn't have a tutorial in the campaign of the game itself. You can play in the other modes, but not in the campaign. And it's kind of like that easy mission just to get you started. But yeah, it's 8 per second already. Belka's Blitzkrieg attack, because it was a Blitzkrieg attack, we started on March 25th, so they basically got Osteo in under 10 days, and Sapling and Osia as well. So we gotta save our last airbase, the airbase of Valais. Well, let's get this started and choose our aircraft, which will be the F-15C Eagle, which is the cannon aircraft of GOM 1. And the Draken as well, but the F-15 is more cannons. It's better. It's what you expect. And by the way, I'm playing on an emulator, the PC SX2, playing also with an Xbox controller, just because, so we can get some better graphics, decent graphics, the way it was supposed to be, but that the PS2 can run. This game has graphics better than even some PS3 games I've played. It has even better graphics in Top Gun Hard Block for PS3. Yeah. Some people confuse a little bit this part where they think it's Cypher talking to Pixie, but it's just Pixie and the airbase controller or the commander. Cypher is a really reserved person. Even Blaze used to talk, either yes or no. Cypher just, which is interesting because he has a command, which is the attack, cover, disperse, or special weapon, and somehow Pixie receives that command without hearing from Cypher. So think about that. How does he communicate? Light signals maybe? SMS, but don't text while flying or driving. Anyways, let's go. The graphics look pretty good, and let's finish off the Balkans. One of the interesting things about this mission, which basically first mission already of the new game, is that there is an original aircraft already. which is the Balkan Bomber BM335. It's kind of like the Strange version of the B-52, but it's only operated by Belka as far as we know. I think the name is Lindworm in German. Lindworm. Or Lindworm. I don't know how to say that. And it has a different fuselage. I'll get to show to you guys when I get closer. And I kind of like it. It's an interesting plane. It was developed by the Balkans in the 50s. Supposed to be the, like I said, the B-52. They could also carry both nukes and regular bombs, carpet bombing, the Vietnam stuff and that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's first finish off with the people who are, the planes that are retreating. Mercenaries don't like people who retreat. We need to get the credits to buy those super planes. Another one. I think if you bail out here, you're in a pretty big trouble because no one's gonna come get you. Yeah, and people talk about Pixie. It's funny how Pixie is considered better than GAUM 1, at least in the beginning of the game. But he's flying for me. He's my wingman. Okay, let's get the B-52s. Finish off with this, and I'll show you the BM235s before we finish. Actually, the BM235 or the Lindworm was supposed to be out of service by this time, or 1995, but because of the Balkan War, the Balkan Air Force brought them back into service because they need, I think, for their Blitzkrieg, which was really powerful. One of the things you gotta watch out is the rear gunner. And let me show you some of the design. It looks a little bit like the wings. I think they look like a bit like the B-52, but you can see that the fuselage has two cylinders, so one on top, one on the bottom. The bottom's the radar one. The cockpit looks like a B-29 cockpit, so the World War II bomber. And the tail is quite, different. You can see it has like 4, stabilizers, and it's in a V shape. Let me just climb so you can get a better view of it. And you can see the gun probably in the rear of the aircraft. From oh boy, I gotta get for the okay, let's stop playing with this. With 92% damage is like quite a lot. But yeah, that's the Lundworm. Shut up, Pixie. I know what I'm doing. You see. There you go, he is down. That was the Lindworm. Quite a unique bomber. You already start Ace Combat 0 with some unique content from the game itself. And it's it looks good, and we'll get to see the Lindworm a little bit more on Mission 12. Mission 12 is where they actually do this stuff. Yeah, we'll get along with our buddy Pixie for some time. And that's Valais. One of the things to note is that it's kind of built in a valley, Valais Air Base, and on one side of the runway you can approach. There's like a cliff, and the other side is like a hill. So how do you land from the other side? I don't think you can. It's like that airport from Nepal, the one that you crash into the mountain. See, there you go. That's the hill that I mentioned. I don't think you could, unless you're in a fighter. Like if you really pull up. But you need a fighter to do that. But yeah, that was mission 1, and I think as we play through, I think we'll stick to the mercenary path just because it's the most official path, I think. But not saying the other ones are not, but I just think it's more canon. That's personal opinion, or I kind of explained in my other video. But yeah, that was mission 1. Hope you have enjoyed. Hope you have learned something new about Ace Combat 0, which is the whole point while I'm making this series, because I know other people have made it before, and it's like 11 years after the game, but there's still things you can learn. I mean, you can learn a lot of stuff in Ace Combat. There's a lot of stuff. But anyways, I put the playlist in the description of the video for this series, or I kind of do for all of them, so you can find the stuff pretty easy, and it'll always be there. Right, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.